Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Dominions 4 Multiplayer Showdown, episode 26, turn 37 with our series here. My name is Sabouts. I'm playing the Ashen Empire. We'll begin here with our usual messages. We've only got the lictors, which are pretty common at this point for us. We also took that province that I had moved into last time, the Agarthan province. Calls. Our forces met no resistance, and then funny enough, we got an unexpected event. A huge number of people have suddenly immigrated to this province, which I think is hilarious considering that it's not really the province I don't think you want to be immigrating to when a huge undead army just rolls into it. But hey, I don't choose where people get to live, they choose. So that's where people want to live, which is nice because we did get the population boost for that. You can see that all these provinces here are slowly dwindling down population-wise. So that'll help us a lot, because I'm going to hold this, and even if Agartha takes it back, we're going to hold it for, a little bit. Now, let me explain what's going on here. I did not message Agartha and tell them about this move. I was going to. I changed my mind on it, simply because the more I thought about it, the more I realized, the less Agartha knows about what's going on, probably the better at this point. And he's going to be pretty confused about this, but he also might not do anything. No, excuse me. He also might not do anything simply because he kind of actually already told me I could have this province a long time ago. So I'm just going to assume he's totally cool with this. If we see a big army moving up, then we'll know. But as of now, if I keep this force on here, I doubt he's going to attack me with anything. I even doubt he has anything really to attack me. I've got a pretty sizable force here that would be very hard to break. Now let's go ahead actually and throw a province defense on there, because why not? Now, what else? So I went ahead, we got our scout here, which is where I was moving him. Oh, yes. So here's the thing. Somebody did message me, Vanheim did, and they did notice this move. So that didn't help us there. Now, you can see that there's barely any units here, and we could easily destroy those units and start sieging the castle, but I'm going to tell you guys what Vanheim told me, and then we'll see where it goes from here. So Vanheim basically sent me a message saying, listen, I know you're probably going to attack me. However, here's the thing. I'm going to be attacking Ulm this turn for one of the thrones. Ulm has a larger army than me, and he's probably going to win. If Ulm loses the battle, then Vanheim is going to win the game. So that's what he told me. He said, I'm going to win the game if Ulm loses this battle. But chances are if Ulm wins the battle. But chances are Ulm is going to lose it, because I guess he's saying that Ulm's forces outnumber him 2-1. I don't know how much truth that carries. Obviously, it could be a lie. He could just be telling me that to try to stall me. But here's the thing, and he brought up this point himself. He said that even if I attack the fortress now, it's not going to change the outcourse of his victory if he does win that battle against Ulm. And that is because I would still have to siege the fortress down and then claim the throne for him to not have the point. So, that's a good point he brings up. It would probably take me, at least 2 to 3 turns, and by then he will have already won if he beats Ulm's forces. So I think it's probably even more, probably like 3 to 4 turns to siege this. So I mean, there's that there. The big thing on that is that, well, I have a tough decision to make. And then he told me if I don't, so here's why this is a tough decision. He basically said, and this is something I actually do believe, he said that he believes he's going to lose that battle, and if he does, then Shanu here is going to be the next leader when it comes to thrones, which he probably is. He's got this one here, this one. He's probably going to get this one soon, and then whatever one he managed to steal from Vanheim, so say this one. And that might put him over the top. It's hard to tell, and I won't know until I can get some better scouts moving out and about. But if that is the case, then Shanu will be next towards victory. So he is right about that. And then he did say that if he loses the battle, which ultimately means that he doesn't win the game, which means the game continues next turn, that if I didn't attack this, he would ally with me and help me destroy Shanu. But after all of that being said, originally I was leaning towards being like, okay, he's right. I won't attack this, and I'll wait a turn, because if I do, then if he does win that battle against Ulm, then the game's over and it doesn't matter. And even if I do attack this and he wins that battle against Ulm, it doesn't even matter if I attack this, because the game's still going to be over. And if he loses that battle with Ulm, then I've got an ally for the future against Shanu, or at least that's if he holds his end of the bargain, which at this point he has, so I feel like he would. However, the more I thought about it, the more I realized that, you know, what if, okay, so say I don't attack this. He does lose his battle with Ulm. Shanu's coming up here and starts taking thrones, right? So then we go to battle with Shanu. Even if we go to battle with him, Vanheim's going to be able to push down and take, you know, like a throne like this and win the game anyways, right? So he'll still win the game. It's not going to matter if he does push against Tortuga and claims, like, I don't know if Tortuga owns this throne. We'll know next turn, because I'm actually going to move a scout up this way. Or not next turn, I'm sorry. We won't know until 2 turns from now, but, you know, who owns this throne? But at this point, that's like my biggest thing. Actually, let me see. That's like my biggest thing about this. Actually, you know what? I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to move him here, and I'll tell you why in a second. But yeah, it's just, so Vanheim would win anyways. And if, I'm trying to collect my thoughts here. Say I do attack this, right? And then Vanheim's upset, but he still wins. Then it doesn't matter, because if I attack this and he still wins, then the game's over. If I attack it and he loses that battle against Ulm, then yeah, he's going to be upset at me, but I doubt he's got the forces to be able to take this force on right out the gate, especially if he's fighting Shanu and Ulm and Man at the same time. And then here's one other thing to keep in mind. He's worried about Shanu winning. Well, I know that Tortuga needs this throne to even be able to get close to winning, because he's got this one, and he's got this one, he might have this one. Even if he claims this one, he would also need this one, and maybe even, like, I don't know, like the next throne's like all the way here or here. So he's not close to winning. So I came up with my own idea. I'm unfortunately going to, I guess, essentially break the alliance with Vanheim, because at this point, I just don't feel that it's safe for Vanheim to have this throne, because even if he loses his battle with Ulm, say he's closer to another throne and he makes a dash towards it, or say that he even says himself, like, oh, you know, I'm going to probably definitely lose this battle, but maybe he's got reinforcements arriving. Or here's what I thought. Maybe he is going to lose that battle, but maybe he's got like a large army like 2 turns away or 3 turns away, and he's quickly trying to buy himself time to reroute that army so it can come up here and get to this fortress, and then I won't be able to take it. So at this point, even though it's important to keep alliances and diplomacy kind of going, I think that I need to take a little bit more of a, at this particular point in the game, I need to take a little bit more of for myself standard, because I don't have any thrones. And if I can grab this throne and I can grab this throne, then I can at least, just by holding these 2 thrones, I can at least guarantee that Vanheim or Shanu will not be able to win the victory, at least for a couple more turns. Because, like I said, Shanu needs this one, and Vanheim's going to need to hold this one. So if I sit on both of these, which I believe that I'm at the point in the game where I'm capable to do that, to expand and sit on those, they won't be able to, they won't actually be able to win. So here's what I'm going to do. I've got a scout here. We're going to move him. We're going to move him up, and we're going to come up this way and try to get an idea of what the heck is going on. I got my large amount of forces here. I also have this guy here coming in. So, I believe he's Venom Spew. Yep. So we're going to move Venom Spew straight into here. And if we wanted to, we could give him some more lictors, but we're not going to do that. We'll leave these units here to kind of be a defense for our capital if we need to break a siege. But we are going to move Venom Spew and whatever units he has here. Now, I did say that I was going to make this move. I'm still somewhat tempted to wait one more turn. I think if Vanheim had forces nearby, they would at least be 2 turns away. I could be wrong. But I would imagine that he wasn't expecting this, so most of his forces are probably off fighting, you know, Ulm and Shanu. Like I said, even if I take this, well, you know, I'm really tempted to just go for it and see what happens. Boy, I'm kind of in a little bit of a... Okay. Well, here's one thing we're definitely going to do. And that's... We're definitely going to probably... So here's what I want to do here. So I said I wanted this throne. I think Asfadal still technically owns it. So I'm thinking about moving this army down into Agartha territory and moving it straight up here. Now, the only problem with that is that we are building a fortress here. And we've got 2 months remaining on the fortress. Anybody could come in and snipe that and end that, which would really suck because 2 months is not very long. So the question is, do I wait 2 turns and then try to make that move, or do I make it now? I say we go ahead and wait 1 more turn. By then, our scout will be here. We'll have an idea of what's going on here. And then we make the move. By then, the fortress will have 1 turn, and then if I set the move order up, it'll be built the next turn after that. On top of that, I can move more units there if I wanted to, and I think I will do that. So let's go ahead. And we've got a bunch of Mound Kings just floating around here and there. And we can keep shifting them around to try to transport units around. Let's actually send one over into the water to gather up some of the forces there. And do this here. And move him up here because he'll be able to take a bunch of these units. But for these units, let's just take a couple of them and do this. And we'll actually take, let's see, we'll do this. We'll take this army here, is what we'll do. Because I think that's a good idea. So something like this. Alright, that's all I can get. So we're taking Sidsheku, the Mound King, and we'll move him up here. So that'll kind of reinforce that. And like I said, we're going to wait 1 more turn because then we'll have a report and everything. We got a scout moving up here, so we're going to start pushing ahead. Now, something interesting to note, Shanu hasn't actually made a move yet. So I don't know what he's waiting for. He might be waiting to grab this throne. If that's the case, and he is going for this throne, then he's probably going to immediately make a dash for this throne. I don't think he doesn't have any forces here or here. And Asfadal owns this, so he would be at least 2 turns away. And our armies would end up clashing here, funny enough, if that ends up being the case. So I guess we're just going to have to wait and see what happens with that. And whether or not it's even going to work. I believe I should move 1 more Mound King there. Or something. Well, no, hold on. I've got this guy, so we can just use him. If I have to. Let's do this, though. Maybe not. Okay, I'll figure this all out in a second. Let's do this, actually. Because I want to move these guys here. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so we'll have a few forces moving in there, and other than Plague Soul here and Igrave the Censor, we don't have anybody else here, and we'll just keep it that way. We'll put him on this, though. For now. Okay. Now the question is, do I make this move now, or do I wait a turn? Because I'm torn between 2, because Shanu, I think, is going to make this move. Oh, boy. I don't know. Or over to here or something. He still has some turns before he heads into Vanheim. I don't know what level throne this is. I think we might go ahead and wait one more turn. I kind of hate to do that. Make sure this is Horde of Skeletons. Well, I know I'm waiting one turn to do this move. So that way I'll make sure the fortress gets built. But yeah, this move, boy, that's tough. Why would Vanheim go to war with Ulm if he thought he was going to lose? He said he was attacking the province to try to claim the throne. That Ulm, or maybe Ulm was attacking to try to take his own throne back before he could actually claim it with a profit. And if he did lose that battle, he says he'll help me fight Shanu, but technically if he lost that battle, he wouldn't have the forces capable of fighting Shanu, because he would be pretty much, he says he would be pretty much dead. I feel like the way the message was like wrote to, it kind of gave off this vibe of like, I don't know if I want to use the word desperation, but it kind of felt like he was like just scrambling to say whatever he could to try to buy like extra turns from me, because he knows he can't fight me, Shanu, Man, and Ulm all at the same time. So as soon as he realized I was coming in there too, he was like, oh crap, you know, this is not good. So even if I don't attack this, he's still fighting Man, Ulm, and Shanu. Like, he's going to have no forces left. He is right about Shanu trying to win the game after that. He'll definitely be pretty close to doing it. If he actually dissolves Vanheim, he'll win. There's no doubt. I'm hoping Man would at least claim this throne. I don't know how close the other players are either. All I know is that if I could take this throne and this throne, that'll definitely help. But outside of those two thrones, it's very hard to gauge where I would go next. Obviously here, but I'd have to attack Shanu, and that wouldn't be viable for some time. I really think I should just make the move. I've got lots of reinforcements coming. Not that I need them to do this battle here. I was going to just move the reinforcements down and over and reinforce myself. You know what? I'm gonna make the move. This is a pretty bold move, and I'm definitely somewhat hesitating it just simply because I know that this definitely severs any future connections with Vanheim. So when the time does come for everybody to turn against me, I will have nobody to help me. Because Shanu eventually, Tortuga, he's going to have to come after me if he's going to win, especially if I end up holding this throne. Because he even told me at one point, he said that the only reason he hasn't attacked me yet is because I have nothing of value for him. But as soon as I got this throne, I've got something of value. You know, boy. Which means that Agartha's already said he's not going to anybody's aid. He's just playing by himself at this point. And I know I don't have Man in Ulm. So Vanheim is really my only actual ally in the game. So this is like where I'm torn, because Vanheim's going for a victory. He says he's not going to get it, and he probably won't with both Shanu, Man, and Ulm against him. If I attack him, I dissolve the alliance. If I dissolve the alliance, then I go here. Eventually Shanu's going to attack me for this, and it'll be me versus Shanu and whoever else he gets to gang up on me. Probably not Agartha, but he could probably get Man and Ulm. Then he may even get Vanheim against me if somehow things turn around. I don't know. It's just tough. So I was thinking like maybe if I just like I wait one turn, I move here and then move here, take this. Then if Shanu does ever come after me, I could call to Vanheim's for Vanheim's help. He probably like because then he could pinch Shanu from the north and I can hit him from the south. Shanu can never fight two fronts like that. It'd be brutal. I mean, he could, but it'd be a brutal fight. And I feel like, but I don't know. But then, I don't know. This is tough. You know, I'm just going to wait a turn and think it over more. I'm not going to make the move just yet. I'm going to message Vanheim back is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to have a good discussion with him. And then I'll decide if I think this is worth it. Because, you know, honestly, if the game was hanging on one turn victory right now, such as like if my moving into here would prevent Vanheim from winning, then I would make the move no matter what. But because I still have to siege down the fortress anyways, if Vanheim really is going to win this turn, which both Tortuga and Tortuga and Wadestar both told me that, he's pretty much like a turn away from winning, then it's not going to matter if I attack here because I'm still going to have to siege down the fortress, and that could take who knows how many turns. It could take, you know, it could be in 2 turns, it could be in 4 turns. I mean, you just don't know. So it's not going to make a difference in the outcome. So I can at least wait one more turn because in the next turn, I will definitely have an idea of what I'm doing because I'll have the scout here so I can see what's in this province. I'll be ready to move these forces down into here so I can claim this throne at least from Shanu. If I claim this throne from Shanu and he automatically threatens me, then I'll know I made the right decision, probably in keeping Vanheim on my side. But the game might also end next turn. So if Vanheim wins that battle, and if the game does end next turn, there will have been nothing I could have done about it here regardless of what move I made. Even if I attack now, it won't change anything. So as far as I think, you know, obviously there could be circumstances I'm not aware of, but I can only do so much with the information I have. So I'm going to wait one more turn and see what... I'm going to message on Vanheim, have a discussion, see what he says, and then we'll take it from there. All right, so we're going to end the turn here then. I want to thank you guys for joining me for this one. I do hope that you've enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you next time.